We are literally on an inside day. Big, big, big inside day. So do not feel that you're obligated to go long if you feel like that daily chart's telling you something. Inside day. See if we get some edge trading.
All right. You, you know that was live while you were saying that. But anyway, let's get it on. Make sure your volume is down, my man. Make sure your volume is down. Let's look at the inside day.
Inside day. See if we get some edge trading.
Yep. All right. You know that was live while you. Okay. Reports came out at 8:30. Got a low impact report, business inventories. I don't think nothing is low impact anymore, man. It's, especially anything to deal with the housing market and shit. Even though this says low impact, I always expect a jump or something.
I had a young lady tell me one day, I've never seen a bad housing report. 2 weeks later, she saw her first bad housing report.
Well, while she was in the market.
While she was active. Yeah.
Yeah. Inside day. Yep, inside day, but we're definitely on the upside. I got quite a bit of range today too. That's the low of the session is 64 and a quarter. High of the session is 13. Yep. What's that on the Nasdaq, by the way? Nasdaq is the same inside day, but pretty nice range on that Nasdaq also. 46 and three
Nice.
quarters to 50 and three quarters.
Pretty good range on some of everything today. Just volatility. But I would not be totally adverse as much as I have of a upward bias. It, like I said, being inside, you can't be totally adverse to any kind of a counter or what you may feel is a counter. I'm looking for longs right now until proven differently. I mean, everything is so strong to the upside that, eventually if this changes, I think you're going to have plenty of time to take a short trade if that's the case. But again, like I said, don't be adverse to anything on an inside day.
We almost hit the
Qual-
top. We almost hit the top of your
Qualify that.
bands, correct?
Yeah, we've actually gone beyond the band and now we've actually tipped into a new high, but can't finish beyond now. That's a weakness point at even just looking at that, just from a visual. That's a big weakness point.
Yeah.
Just draw a line from where we went in all the way across, and you'll realize that, yeah, we did make a new high. And of course, not being able to get into the band denotes some weakness.
Only by a couple ticks, though. Only by a couple ticks.
Yeah, only by a couple of ticks, but that's a yeah, but, huh?
Yeah, but. Right. Yeah, but.
Yeah, but now we're getting all single prints at the top of the footprint. This is where footprint starts layering on top of your beliefs or your systems. But now we're starting to get a lot of finish on the mends to the downside. We're getting high volume on down bars. We're getting single prints on down bars. So there's a lot of, I'm going to say there's a lot of divergence in just this particular area. Somebody's got to win.
I'm liking the long side today, though, just to let you know. I'm liking the
You're
long side.
supposed to. You are now 88. You're over my 7,500 threshold, which kind of tells me everything's a pullback until proven differently.
Yep.
Again, I will always announce, hey, if you like shorts, this would be an area of interest because I don't think, if we don't have shorts, we can't have longs. So
Definitely like the long side.
yeah, I'm your yang to your yin, man. Gotta show the shorts some love.
I definitely did. I did some research on Mike Balto's software. And what I did was I did exactly how I told you guys about a week or so ago to load when you're loading up OrderFlow software. Just uncheck all of the signals and load up each signal one by one. And I came out with some interesting results. I wish this thing, like I said, I keep talking about it because I wish this thing had some type of alert set so I can get some alerts on these signals. But I'm just gonna have to keep my eye on the screen. And I have a total of 7 alerts or 7 signals checked off. I'm looking at accumulation distribution. I'm looking at the ratio. I'm looking at POC wave. And I'll let you know as these signals are going off, I'll let you know which is which. I'm looking at the prominent POC. I'm looking at retail sucks. I'm looking at, and that's the name, that's actually the name of one of his signals. I'm looking at the price action divergence, and I'm looking at delta divergence. Accumulation distribution is these gold arrows you see pointing to the right. It's going to be gold arrows on top of the bars or gold arrows on the bottom of the bars. One way I get over the confusion of looking at all these signals in different colors is make your signals one color. That's for the buy and the sell. That way you become familiar with just one color. Because if you make it red on the top and you're going to have several signals that's going to be, red on the top and green on the bottom. So accumulation distribution right now we're looking at accumulation distribution of the gold arrow. And the box is the POC wave. The cross is price action divergence, and I'll name them as we go along. But what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for several signals on top or on bottom of the bars, and we'll just see how they play out. We'll just see how they play out. But yeah, that's what I did with the Valtos software. I just made each signal has its own color or its own symbol. That way I'm familiar with what's going on. Just the easier way to look at it. It can be overwhelming if you got a whole bunch of greens on top and the arrows all look the same or different shades of green and so forth. So I just made them different colors.
A little pressure to the downside on the open.
I like the long side. Right here, this box you see on the Valtos thing right now, this is a POC wave in the making, hasn't been etched in stone yet with accumulation distribution. You got passive buyers coming in on that pivot low. Let's see what happens here.
Nice pullback spot now for the longs. See where we come in.
Let me see if my volume thing works on this. Downloaded a little add-on utility for NinjaTrader, and it's supposed to control the volume inside of NinjaTrader. Neat little add-on. I'm trying to see if it's going to work now. Trying to see if it's going to work now, but I thought that was kind of neat. POC wave has disappeared. The bands are tightening up.
Bands are definitely tightening up. We're going into a fair value zone on the 30 minutes.
You don't have nothing shown on your 5 minute, correct? Oh, yeah.
5 minutes a little bit lower. 5 minute fair value zones around 03, 0250.
What you got on the upside?
Fair value zone to the upside starts at 0250, 03.
You got a sell zone at where?
A buy zone for fair value at around 0250.
Okay. I'm not seeing that for some reason. I'm not seeing that. Then too, I might have my let me make sure my value stuff is working. It's set right. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this guy did do a update on this indicator, the fair value gap. So that might be another reason why I don't have a buy zone on the other side, because I did load this up last night too. I was just all over the internet last night, man.
And I was on the road all night.
That ain't that much of a long drive. What's that? 2 hours, man? 3 hours, man?
No, more like, well, I'm gonna say 3.5 to 4. I'll just put it that way. But when you look at it, just like you look at a dog, when you say he's 5 years old, you look at it in dog years, he's actually 35. Each mile gets a little bit longer the older you get. Oh. Got to remind young whippersnappers sometime.
Starting off kind of slow today. Welcome to Top Steps OrderFlow. Just here, just to interact with other traders. Not trying to do anything special here. We run footprints. We run several footprints just to see how they run. Well, we actually use them for trading. So if you guys want to get a good idea, right now, this is the TDU right here with my own template selected. And this is on a 12R. I did switch to 12R. This is Valto's OrderFlow right here with my own template. This right here is what Magic uses for his screen. He uses Bollinger Bands with the MACD. So a lot of times you'll see us going back and forth, talking about different scenarios and different trade setups that we look for on our charts. Magic looks for something totally different than what I'm looking for. So you're going to get a different perspective of, two different people. And we're looking at two different things, but a lot of times we come up with the same answer as to which way we're trying to go or what we're trying to do. What's up, Morgan? How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, Morgan. All right, we've fallen right down into that Bollinger Band, kind of as expected. Well, not expected. We have an upward bias. But now, again, we're coming into a bottom band on the Bollingers. I would expect some sort of a reaction. We have an upward bias on the longer term chart, so this would be a very good place to, if you have an interest in longs, you have an interest in longs in this area. If you think you got a little bit deeper pullback, I'm looking for some sort of action now that would key me into saying just go long. Remember, we are on the inside day, so this to me is considered to be an edge. So my approach on inside days tend to not be trying to catch a trend, but more so catch bottom support, buying bottom support, or selling the top resistance.
And
In this case,
I noticed
yeah,
your bands are tightening up. Are you on a different time frame when your bands tighten up?
when my bands tighten up, I am looking at a lower time frame to catch some timing as far as that's concerned, but I literally do like the fact that we're on the lower band right here on the 12R.
Right.
To look at a lower time frame, I would look right to a 6R and see what the action would be. We're starting to get a lot of sideways action, but the bigger thing about it is we can't get back into the Bollinger Bands on a smaller time frame to the downside.
Right.
So pressure's definitely starting to push to the upside. You can see volume is cum delta. Yeah, we're losing a little bit on the cum delta, but overall we're so far over zero. I'm very confident in the area that we may look at. I was hoping we could get a slingshot in this area or a POC wave in this area or something of that nature to show some sort of momentum through the footprint.
Right.
A lot of times you have the condition and you have the location and you're waiting on a footprint, not a signal, but you're waiting on that footprint to actually give you a little more of a timing issue as well.
Right.
So again, I'm seeing condition coming from the 12R and the 6R, the Bollinger Bands of each. Bollinger Bands going to the sideways really do dictate sideways action in itself. So buying the bottom and selling the top, if you're a scalper, not bad areas to take that approach. If you've got an upward bias, that bottom band is the most important thing you would want to be looking for, because that is something you're looking to be a springboard effect, in conjunction with whatever else you're using. There's nothing that stands alone. Buyers really took a while to walk into this move. It's like a long time of conviction on this one, but they finally got there.
But when you look at that pivot down there on that TDU, I got min max, I got a thin print, then it goes from plus 535 on the delta, then it goes to a dead bar minus 343.
Dead bar.
Yeah.
And then a dead bar again.
And then dead bar again. Yeah. Sellers couldn't pull it off.
So literally, I would normally be looking for what we call a hyena, a small pullback and a continuance to the upside. But because we're on the inside day, I'm very wary of that particular approach.
Yep.
Back to the edges.
No lag effect today. No lag effect today. I'm kind of proud of them numbers. 0.06, 0.04 seconds.
I'm still holding my breath.
Constantly. But you don't have no alert set either, right?
No. Well, I do have a wave set, POC wave set. That's about it.
Yeah.
Right, back up on the upside. Do we get more push that way, or do we start knocking it back down around the top tunnels again?
Cumulative delta is steadily falling.
Dropping.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Steadily dropping.
And again, that's kind of where I use that old school MACD, because the differential in that is really small to the upside.
Right, hardly noticeable.
Exactly. It's called that's pretty neutral right now, but it's not good when you're making a new high. You don't want to see a neutral situation with a new high. So buyers got some work to do in here. sellers are trying to prove themselves with that last delta.
I'm not
You
crazy
still
about I'm not crazy about selling right now though.
not well. Should you be? Again, if you have a preference, I would rather go to the downside and keep buying as opposed to run to the upside and keep selling. The only thing I had itching sell about was on the open because of the fact that we had already gone into the bands and then we're making a new high. Even on a pinch, remember you said 1 or 2 ticks, even on a pinch, but that kind of dictated the weakness there. So I kind of expected on the open we may have enough energy to get to the bottom band. Normally on an up day, you don't see the bottom band very often. Maybe once if they get there.
Yeah.
On a down day, vice versa. So, when you're seeing it early, everything is very different about an inside day and sideways bands.
Definitely got momentum on the profile bar chart here. Profile bar chart. Where you at? Where you at, chart? Where you at? There you are. Yeah, we had some strong buying down there according to the profile bar. This is a new toy I'm looking at. Just looking at it, I like those power bars down there at the bottom. So, and the momentum is definitely green. Definitely green. Right down there at the pivot, momentum went from minus 672 plus 484 plus 741, and then it jumped into the thousands. That's definitely something I'm going to start looking at. Yep. And think about these footprints that I'm running. They're not redundant. Each one is giving different signals that the other one doesn't have. So that's what I like about looking at them. Got a ratio flashing
Hey.
in Valtos, just flashing. Nothing etched in stone yet. We got a minus 812 up here at the top of TDU, closing on the min. Then we go to a minus 246. QM Delta's gone back down in the 4,000 range.
Yeah, it's about to say, even at the pivots, if you compare pivots, you lost a lot of buyers on the new high.
Yeah.
Comparatively, you had about 5,800 on this last one, where before you were in the 8,000. So you've lost just a roughly 2,500 to 3,000 buyers from pivot to pivot, which of course.
Delta is definitely falling a lot faster than the data. If you look at this chart right here, Delta is definitely falling a lot faster, and it's below the moving average now. When you're looking at footprint, guys, don't hesitate in drawing your support resistant lines. Does not hurt at all. Gives you visually, it helps you decide which way the trend is going, or the immediate trend is going anyway. Helps me. Might help you also.
Starting to get single prints at the top of these bars on the 12R, finishing on the min. What am I looking for at this point in time? I mean, everybody sees the static support, but when you got static support kind of running in the same line as a Bollinger Band, which is a dynamic support, Again, I like the upside, so this would be the area, you know, based on the action that comes through that I would have an interest in going to the long side. We're in a buy zone. I hate the sandwich that we're in. We're in a buy zone and a sell zone at the same sell zone on the fair value gaps at the same time on a 30-minute. Comparing pivots, 3,700, 7,100. So definitely lost buyers on this, less confidence down here.
Right.
Got a comparison of pivots where you had, you know, you got single prints on both of these. You got five sellers down here on the bid, and you've got 8 sellers on the pivot. The OC wave to the upside.
POC wave with a ratio. POC wave with a ratio. Let's take this trade just so I can see this new toy on this chart, by the way, also. Put the stop down here below this. Notice all the data that those lines are giving you, Magic?
I was sitting there trying to read them.
Put your dollar store glasses on, man. Come on. Got a target at 52.11. First target. Last target is sitting at 15.25.
If you want, you can bring that target up to my tunnels.
Where's your tunnel at? Your tunnel sitting at 13.25?
Yeah, get like 3 ticks inside of that. You'll be fine.
13. You talking about the first target or the second target?
First target, 12 3/4. I mean, 12 1/4. You'll be fine, man.
I'm asking for 13 ticks on it. You notice on this thing it says 13 ticks.
That's what we call a mathematical target.
Yeah.
Make the trade okay. Let me make the 13 ticks, and I can do just fine from there. Scalper mentality.
I think
Turn
I
the
just,
scalp.
I think I just selected that arbitrarily just so I can see exactly what's going on here.
Well, I mean, you did it after a wave, so it made sense. Locationally, it wasn't too bad either. So you gave yourself a chance on a practice sum.
And where we at on Trusty Dusty's up 321 on the Dow. NASDAQ is up 132. Come on, guys. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. I'm going to take a bathroom break. Make that market go up, man. I'll be right back.
Morgan K, how are you this morning? All right, we got some selling starting to set in. Some falling delta, high volume, higher than the last. Giving us almost a flip effect from one bar to the next comparatively. Would love to see that get absorbed and rejected right back to the upside for his sake.
I like to see that price action come with that POC wave. When that price action comes with that POC wave, man, I like that. I went back on history and looked at that trade. That's not a bad trade at all.
I've tended to see a lot of action. I think I told you about the min max finish on the first or second bar pivot or the second bar with the with a ratio with it. So a lot of things were happening in that same area, you know, where the wave came in.
Right.
I was just talking about how this last bar, the seller started stepping in, and right at that point, I was talking about maybe we can get this absorbed and rejected to the upside. I said, for his sake, you come back, and they're actually trying to go to work. We got fair value zones on top of fair value zones. Some, you know, even giving you more confidence to feel like we're going to run from one end to the other until something happens. And 10 o'clock, was that low impact or high impact news?
It's supposed to be low
What was
impact, but I don't trust nothing. I don't trust a thing.
He don't trust nothing. That should be a song.
Give me that target. Get up there. Sound like horse racing.
Mm-mm.
I'm tempted to get out at break even. Tempted. This is taking too long.
Ah, the old stopwatch. Oh man, you get in the middle, got to stick around in the middle.
No, I do not either. That's your rule.
There you see why I stay away from the middle. All right, this is your time to shine, my friends. All the buyers need to come in, call your friends.
Man, I just wanted to play with my toy. That's all. I didn't want to.
All right.
I just wanted to test my toy out. It's where we at? Are we falling on the delta? Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit the button.
Yeah, I was just talking about the fall in delta if that was a down bar.
Yeah. Falling on the delta, I will hit the button in a heartbeat.
What do you got? A whole 343 at the top, 243 at the top. They may take a revisit up there. Pushing. POC wave down.
7 1/4, 5 1/4, 8 tick loss. Yeah, I'll take it. Not feeling this at all. And that last bar, that delta is minus 855. Is it gonna make me look bad? Is it gonna make me wish? And here come the buyers.
Looking back on when I.
Here come the buyers. Why you tell me to hold on, man?
I'm not giving you any direction whatsoever. You're in the middle of this. You took a trade. What my brother told me yesterday or the day before. You took that trade. You just accept the loss.
There's that cross. There's that price action divergence. It's not with anything, so it's not bad. Doesn't
How many signals are you looking to be in confluence when you decide something like that?
I actually like 2 to 3, and I wanted this trade to pop off, but I get good follow through when I have like a POC wave with the price action divert with a big cross at the bottom, or when you get 3 of these and on a pivot, and I have all of these signals set on a pivot. So yeah, I only have 7 checked off.
And the ratio you include as one of them, or you want to see 2 or 3 of them, then the ratio?
I actually want to see 2 of the other ones. The ratio, I really don't count the ratio a lot of times.
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I want to see what I have set up, and then a ratio is like icing on the cake for me.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I was in hope mode. What's the most ticks I got out of that trade? Let me see something here for a second. I got 7 3/4. It made a high of 10.5. I think my target, I was shooting for what, 13 ticks target?
So you missed by 2.
Yeah. And this high right here missed by 1.
This is kind of the action you would have to expect, especially getting in the middle. I know it would look like it, but
exactly.
That's why I get very afraid of this area in relation with.
Yeah, but I got a thing about getting in on the 3rd bar. I just that does not sit comfortable with me at all. But I'll for the POC wave, I'll try it. Because a lot of times, a lot of my signals have me getting in after that swing, after that pivot right there. Fly guy.
I'm still expecting that move to the upper band again before there's another reaction.
Yeah. Fly guy says straight sideways, range under 0.75% on the SPY. Yeah.
That right.
Yep. And I would still be sitting in this trade right now if I didn't bring my target down.
You see what Morgan said?
What?
Don't diddle in the
Don't
middle.
diddle in the middle. That's who sings that? Who sings that song? That's can't think of his name right now. That's a song. Yeah, I could immediately went to a break even on that, man, and been satisfied. And we got a lot of we had resistance up there basically.
I'm just hoping they don't make this range any smaller than it is. Makes it real difficult
Yes,
for risk reward.
totally agree. Totally agree. And your bands are going straight across 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock,
Exactly.
9 o'clock,
Exactly. I
three
mean,
o'clock.
when you've got resistance and support pretty much 10 points apart and you're trying to get yours out of the middle somewhere, that doesn't leave a lot of room for error.
No, not with a 12 range. Not with a 12 range bar anyway.
Exactly.
Not with a 12 range bar. That big cross up there is the price action divergence by itself. So yeah, I'm still trying to get used to looking at the symbols that I've set for it, the colors. Every once in a while, I got a big 5x7 card in front of me with the color in the name of the signal.
You got you got the cheat sheet in front of you,
I
man.
got the cheat sheet in front of me, man. I
Here
got
I
the
am
cheat sheet
thinking
in
this is
front of me.
all off the top of your head, and then you're gonna tell me you running with a cheat sheet.
I got
Come
the cheat.
on.
I got the cheat sheet in front of me, man. I got the cheat sheet in front of me.
We went, it's actually a hangman. You can call it a doji if you want, but we went from 185 positive to the next bar accelerated down to 1128 minus. Again, another sign of acceleration, participation, some may call it.
Yep. And Cum
Bottom
Delta's
line,
falling.
sellers came in.
Cum Delta's falling big time.
Again, still have not been proven any differently from the condition that we cited early on the open. Sideways, you're looking to be a buyer, don't look for a 20-point run. You only got a 10-point range, but if you're looking to be a buyer, these areas at the bottom here would be the area of interest. If you're looking to be a seller, which is not bad on an inside day with a sideways range and sideways Bollinger Bands, you're looking to be a seller somewhere in that 1512, 1511 area and accepting the risk on that side. But until then, that's pretty much the game plan. Hard to get excited yet. Hard to get excited. TTM squeeze, guys. I tell you about those breakouts. Look out. Hume is definitely going to the negative side right now. Still in a very neutral area. But we are turning negative.
Plus 248 now. We were plus 331. Now we're 241. So that Dow has dropped 100 points already. Nasdaq is plus 86. Look like it's headed towards break even.
Stop running. Stop running. You're looking at the band side of this now, Top Step. We got a full bar on the other side of the bands. That's time to either, if you're in, enjoy the ride, or if you're not, wait until it comes out, and then you may find more of a rotational move. But right now, this signals total pressure to the downside when you have a full bar. High, open, low, close, all on the one side of the band.
QM Delta has gone minus 3,200 now. So are we looking for pullbacks to the short side?
I would expect that this came out, that I would expect to see some sort of retest for the bottom. So, you know, if you want to look at it from that perspective, are you trending yet? No, you're still on an inside day. So I still would be somewhat careful. News might not have been as good as we thought, huh?
Yeah.
People came to a realization somewhere.
I'm trying to
Or
figure out-
again, Morgan K called some friends of his again.
Got a Delta sweep just came in on TDU, but this is almost like the run is gone. How many bars?
Stretch.
This is where I do not consider taking a trade, even though we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11 down bars in a row, and the Delta sweep comes in this low. I do not take those trades. I kind of wait for a pullback on that, and then wait for the next signal. Who knows how far this is going to fall, though, or why it's falling. Did Biden say something?
Just after 10 o'clock, maybe that low impact wasn't as low.
Right. Like I said, exactly. Exacto mundo. That impact wasn't as low as everybody thought it should be.
Yeah, but this is when I tend to defer to a higher time frame. See, okay, what's happening for real? You know, somebody's pulling back in this environment, and that's kind of what I will start looking at. Are we really in a move to the downside, or are we in a pullback for another time frame?
It was a pretty big pullback.
Well, it's beyond pullback on the next time frame. We're actually changing structure.
Yeah.
Maybe not trend, but structure itself is definitely getting wacky. We've changed from to a point where we're literally in oscillation. Oscillation meaning we're coming from a new high to a new low, and your choice is whether you want to play the momentum to the downside, sit on your hands, and let this thing, let the, what do you call it, let the smoke clear, and figure out pretty much what you're looking at.
We got a retail sucks signal. That's about it.
Explain that, please. I love the name.
I don't have the definition in front of me, but it's in the manual. I would have to look it up in the manual.
The only reason I asked about that one, normally you come up with these defs anyway, but I love the name of that, and I can only imagine with a visual what that means.
And matter of fact, I think I will read that. Let's go to the PDF and see what that signal says.
You mean that signal's not in AI yet, man?
It's not an Got a pretty big pullback there on that signal too.
Really big, yeah. A lot of exhaustion going on.
Retail sucks. Retail suck occurs when there is heavy volume on the bottom bid side of the bar that decreases on the way up, or heavy volume on the top offer side that decreases on the way down. A sign of absorption as traders are being sucked in by strong passive traders. Nice little pullback there. Nice little pullback there. We just went from plus 340 to minus 1013. We're minus 6,700 now on the cum. Is that a go? Are you telling me to go?
Falling delta. Telling you to watch right now. Telling you to watch. Get ready to give you something else.
It was a nice pullback, I must say.
3 bars.
3 bars.
Worth. Plus 325 on falling delta. 1006.
Got a potential POC wave if this bar closes down right here.
Yes.
Doesn't look like it's gonna happen though. Oh, then again. I like to see some other signals on top of this. If this bar closes down and creates a POC wave, I want to see some other signals other than a ratio on top of this. But then too, you got a big down delta, and that cancels that. Okay, we're coming up to a big fair value gap from 91 3/4 up to 4 1/4.
PLC wave to the upside.
Do you have a fair value gap there?
At 99.
Yeah. You got a fair value gap at 99?
No, I'm sorry. 92.
Yeah.
With an encroachment at 98.
Yeah. And the top is 4 1/4.
We got the same sort of acceleration to the upside on this 12R from a minus 96. Again, min-max ratio, second bar, and you got an acceleration.
Your bands have definitely spread it apart.
Room to maneuver. Room to maneuver now. Still, that condition exists inside day.
Yeah, the daily bar is just not as green. It's got a wick about half the size of the bar. Losing momentum. We're getting signals inside of this sell zone. 5-minute fair value gap here. Let's see what happens here. We got a passive sellers in, and we have price action divergence. Would have been nice if that was a POC wave to go along with that. What's that? 1, 2 more ticks on the POC. Look like it's not going to happen now.
Now I've got trend down and bias up. I still have a somewhat up bias.
Minus 5,700 on the cum now. Sellers are taking control. Got fading momentum at the top of that pivot, which is also a dead bar, by the way, on my charts. This is in a fair value gap. We got two signals up there.
Fading momentum, finishing on the min.
Minus 709.
Damn. Acceleration down.
Yeah, but look at that TDU. They're pushing, buyers are pushing back up. Got a ratio flashing, defending. It's disappeared now. Got a thin print.
This is hard to lay off. I gotta stick to my guns, man. I gotta stick to my guns.
Hey, man, what's up with my sounds, man? I set my sounds. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. Put this target down some more. See if we can dangle the carrot. Okay. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that scalp. I will take that scalp. No, Morgan, no, I didn't. I have not messed with the bonds yet. I have not messed with the bonds yet. Look at this, we're steady falling. I think my ATM strategy was too tight. Too tight, but I still managed to snatch a little bit out of there. Let me see what I snatched out of there. $88.75. I got 3 points out of that. 3 points, two lots. I'll take that. $88.75. 85.5 on the first target. 86 was stopped out on the second. Morgan, I am going to do that this evening because I do have some changes that I definitely want to make. I will set the bonds up on Valto stuff this evening. I promise you. That's going to be a chart that's going to be, we're going to look at with FootPrint. Not a bad trade, not a bad scalp. Don't get greedy now, Morgan. say some slop for the other pigs. Hey, I know I'm gonna show you a quick tip, Morgan. Let this market calm down a little bit. Remind me to show you a quick tip. Uh, you say you can't get his software to work. I know why. I'll show you. I'll show you in a minute. And it took me a long. And he does not answer emails, so I'll show you what I did to get mine to work. I made a discovery last night that and it has a lot to do with Ninja Trader. And I'm not going to chew nobody out today. I'm gonna be calm, cool, and collected. But you know, it's something that we are definitely overlooking using Ninja Trader. But I'll show you how I got mine to work right after this. I got that 8 ticks back on that last trade that I lost on the first trade. I'm 1-1 today, by the way. 1-1, 1-1. $73 versus minus 354. I should be getting my butt in this trade too. I'm a little scared though, just a little. Fear plays a factor when pulling trades. I'm telling y'all, and especially when you're online. I have no problem when I'm sitting here by myself, but online you're trying to, the pressure comes in and trading online, trying to, you know, I don't know if I want to use the word impress people, but it's kind of tough. Trading online is kind of tough. And I can understand people doing much better trading when they're alone than trading in front of a whole bunch of people. Because you want to do good. Obviously, you want to do good, but the reality is there's no such thing as all winning trades. It's not going to happen. You're going to take a loss. The question is, you have to control those losses. How are you going to control those losses? That's the question. And me and Magic talk about that all the time. A lot of times, if I do like 2 or 3 losses in a row, you got to take a breath and sit back and say, okay, what am I doing wrong today? Exactly.
No, that's when you look at learning trading, everything becomes a new rabbit hole. Your targets, your entries, as well as your stops. So if you try to treat them all the same way or look at them all at the same time, a lot of times you can confuse yourself. But they're all different rabbit holes, they're different strategies, and you got to find the one that fits you personally.
Hey man, my alerts are not going off like they supposed to. I don't hear Jabba the Hutt at all. What's going on?
Mm.
I don't hear Jabba the Hutt at all. And I think I've had maybe like 1 or 2 Delta sweeps this morning, and I didn't hear them at all. I'm gonna have to go back and check that out and revisit that, make sure everything is set right. Yeah, that was a short trade. I could have scalped something out of that too, but it's a lower high, minus 354 versus 73. Cum deltas on that last pivot up there at 73 was minus 52.89. This is minus 65.60. So you got more sellers coming in. And currently we're at 76.38. Even if POC wave does show up here, I'm not going to take this trade. This will be a counter trade at this point to the upside. We got a seller coming in, volume of 100, 51.85. Got a big red ball on my TDU. We got the power balls popping here, guys. Got the power balls popping here. I'm getting accustomed to this footprint right here. This is PJS profile bars here, and he has a couple of indicators running on his profile bar where he looks at the momentum. And look at this momentum. Wow. Big time momentum, big time momentum. Like I said, we got a seller here, 51.85. 100 at 51.85. Gold triangle. I got set as a gold triangle looking to the right. That's accumulation distribution. That's passive buyers with a POC wave. We got passive buyers with the POC wave. And why my sounds are not working, I do not know why. I'm gonna have to reset those. I'm gonna have to reset those sounds. But Morgan, correct me if I'm wrong. You're on a 15 range, if I'm not mistaken, right? You do look at 15 range. Got buyers coming in, pushing the market up. Not that much meat on the bone once this bar closes. Got a sell zone sitting right there at 91 3/4. Cum delta is minus 53.37. I am not looking for a long trade right now. I only want to take short trades. Got a ratio flashing with a POC wave. Is this the POC wave I should have took with the ratio?
You got a shot. See if you get the push.
Too late. Too late. Look at it. Too late. Yeah, Morgan. And I originally started on 12, and then when I went up in the TDU Discord, all of a sudden I switched to 15. But I think the 12 is a lot quicker, in my opinion. I think the 12 gets you in a lot quicker. I turned Magic on to 12, and he started getting on me because I went to a 15.
Understand, I was coming from a 3 and a 6.
Right.
And graduated a lot to the 8 brick Rinkos, which I thought still have some value just as far as structure is concerned.
And the thing about the Rinkos, what a lot of people don't know, and once I started understanding what ghost bars are, Rinko is good for structure. You cannot put indicators and stuff on a Rinko because a majority of those bars are ghost bars. Passive trader and price action divergence. I'll get to know these symbols. I will get to learn them at some point. I'm learning them now. Price action trader and passive buyers. Accumulation distribution, passive buyers. With the POC wave threatening.
POC to the upside. Even though we stretched this, we're still in that same condition right now. It's literally bugging me.
And your bands have tightened back up, by the way.
Right back up after that move. That was not supposed to happen.
Your bands have tightened right back. I'm surprised they tightened up as quick as they did, though.
I'm not. That's why I keep talking about the inside day. The follow through is hard to govern. What pullback is going to give you a follow through you need? Because they expanded the range, and we're back in the same type of range that we were, 10 point, not even 10 points at this point now. Yeah, right around 10 points.
Different 10 points, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Squeeze, open, squeeze again. You can see the cumulative is telling you where the pressure is, but the bigger question is, yesterday's low, it seems like they would love to go back and retest. Okay, that's the impression you have to have with the cum that you have now. But there's a lot of buy zones on the way down.
The more and more I run this fair value gap, the more and more I'm becoming confident in it because it went right up there to that 5-minute fair value gap, no matter what chart you're on. And
yes,
it turned right around. And this
use what you choose.
Yeah, it's I'm becoming more and more confident in looking at this fair value gap, especially when order flow gets up in that sell zone or gets down there in those buy zones. Definitely something you cannot ignore. Are we going now? Are we in free fall on the Dow? We were up 300 on the Dow. Now we're up only 74, 75. I guess, like you said, I guess that low impact report wasn't low after all. Shit. Is my volume too low on this? Let's go back up to 15 for a second. Let's see what happens here. My volume on this, trying a new add-on with this Ninja Trader. I found an add-on online where it controls the volume inside of Ninja Trader only. I'm trying to see if it works correctly. And I keep saying I'm not hearing no alerts. And I say, wait a minute, my volume is sitting all the way down there on 7. So I just moved it back up. And if you start hearing alerts, then we know that's the problem. But I don't think that's the problem because my alerts are going off on the other things. So that might not be the problem, but we'll see. We shall see. Got a seller of 405 volume at 5180. Somebody thought kindly enough to sell a shitload there.
68.
Got price action divergence flashing on the Baltos chart. That's the big purple cross. Price action divergence. Let's see what we get here. Got min max flashing on the TDU with a minus 208. That's a lower high, and then we got a POC wave flashing now. We got a lower high of 12 versus 56 on the ask side. Believe it or not, Morgan, when I worked at the brokerage firm, believe it or not, working in the systems division, man, I was trading like 10 systems at one time. I'm used to looking at a bunch of charts. I'm used to it. It becomes second nature when you start looking at this kind of stuff. It becomes second nature. And we were actually sitting, just me and another guy, we were just actually sitting up there pulling trades on 10 different trading systems at one time. And this is before everything was automatic. We were using TradeStation. So I'm used to it. Just to look at the stuff, no problem.
No comment. I'm with you, Morgan K. I've always found your ability to be able to look at numbers, so many of them at one time, is a true asset, because I certainly, me being a bit dyslexic, again, that would run me up a wall. But then again, you know, you tell him, huh?
Morgan say maybe because all of the shit you asking Ninja to do.
Ninja quit already 3 years ago on Top Step, so it doesn't really matter what he asks. So everything sticks in his brain like an old Rolodex.
I expect for this software to be top notch. And notice we got a POC wave here, but nothing came with it. Nothing came with it. If nothing comes with it, I can't mess with it. In direction of my bias, I can't mess with it. Nothing came with it. Hey man, much as this program costs, man, this program we should be able to dictate what we want and it automatically put it on the charts. AI, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm pretty sure you give it another 30 years, you will have software that does that. Oh, I want to see a up, down this and a stochastics at this level and a percent R at this level and this and that. And it's probably going to be able to put it on a chart immediately.
But in the meantime, while you're waiting for your 23rd century actions to go on, Morgan say maybe you need about 2 or 3 more fans in that casing.
I keep telling, man, I got 64 gig of RAM. I expect the best from Ninja and my computer. Nothing less. We're just chopping back and forth here right now, though. Chopping back and forth. I'm 1-1 today. That second trade pulled me out of the hole just by a little bit, but I went green at that point. I'm looking for an indicator that puts the profit and loss for an account at the bottom of the screen. Does anybody have access to that? If anybody has access to that, email that to me. I'm online looking for it. I don't know where to find them. I see everybody else online, and I can't set it up. I tried setting it up in the trade performance. Either I'm missing something or I can't do it, but somebody give me instructions on that. Yeah, I was supposed to get a Jabba the Hutt alert on this stripe you see on my TDU chart now. I'm not getting no alert, so no, I'm not working my computer too hard. As much as this software and computer costs, I expect the best, nothing less.
You're lucky you can see 10 charts at one time then. LOL.
Yeah, the fan, Morgan, my fan do start revving up when something is going on. My fan does start revving a little bit when something is going on. Right now it's real quiet.
Down. Nah. Shorts only, shorts only, shorts only, shorts only.
I'm gonna have to find out what's going on with my sound, man. You ain't sabotaged my computer, did you, Magic?
If I touched it, probably did. But no sabotage. I need your computer to work.
Oh, look at that jump up. We got a seller up there too. 522 at 5180. Is that somebody jumping out or somebody jumping in? Got a POC wave, but nothing with it. No spaghetti sauce with it, just the spaghetti, no meatballs. Yeah, Morgan, you might catch a good pop. You might catch a good pop to the downside. I definitely agree with that. At 5,200, that might not be a bad place to do it on the close. Nice pinch double bottom there. The numbers are there. The bias is not there though.
We're also not leaning on a whole lot on the higher time frame. Higher time frames are pointed down as well.
Got to sell it up there on the pivot of that current bar. Volume of 107. 51.82 and 3/4.
Seven.
Little ball you see, little red ball you see on the Valtos chart, that's a ratio, 32.5. Notice I get that ratio on my TDU and Valtos, so that confirms that I do have the ratio program right on the TDU. Notice I got a red background in on TDU now, so that reminds me I'm only taking short trades. When the background turns red, that means the cum delta is minus 8,000 or more, and I'm only looking to take short trades from this point on. Every time Magic takes a counter trade or I take a counter trade, we always remind each other, you know you're in a counter trade. We are definitely headed down. And good old Trusty Dusty is sitting at 81, plus 81 now, where the NASDAQ is even. They were both up like crazy earlier today. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's how I got it set. Let me see if I got that ratio set at the swing. No, I don't think I set it at the swing because I said at least I want to see. I didn't set the ratios at the swing because I said at least I wanted to see where the exhaustion defenses are at. So I think I left the ratio alone as far as the swing. Yeah, I left it alone as far as the swing was concerned. I want to see all the ratios that pop up because they might pop up somewhere. It might be of interest to me. That's why I left that blank. But yes, you can set the ratios up at the swing. But everything else is set up at the swing. I never looked at the RTY, Morgan. Never. And that if I'm not mistaken, is that the Russell index? Let me look at that. Is that the Russell index you're talking about? Got price action, and passive buyers flashing here on the buy side, but I'm not looking to buy anything. Got TDU bouncing off the bottom of the Bollinger Bands.
Orders.
Not looking to take a long trade though. I am not looking to take a long trade. I like short side for sure.
If you look at that pivot where you got the double bottom, you increased in your cumulative delta down there as well from one pivot to the other. It's still not losing any sellers on a double bottom. That makes it kind of hard to sell. I mean, to be a buyer.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you've increased. You got more sellers. Yes.
Exactly.
Got a prominent POC up here on the order flow, on Balto's order flow. Just a prominent POC. Stop in volume.
Now, Morgan K., I'm not sure what you meant when you talked about Top Step looking at a lot of things, but CL, ZN, ES, you're starting to build a real repertoire over there. I'm not sure if your fans aren't working kind of hard itself, or you just on CL between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. I know that's your golden trade at that time.
Yeah, I'm just looking at one chart, different indicators. He's looking at several charts.
Yeah, yeah. Choose your flavor.
We got selling pressure starting to come in here now.
Yep.
Got selling pressure coming in here now. Lows of the day is 64 and a quarter. That's that green line you see on the chart. Lows of the day, 64 and a quarter. Yeah, Morgan. We're gonna see if we can get you up and running on your Valtos thing, on your Valtos indicator. See if the tip I give you makes any difference at all. Oh, you're using the strat also? I looked at the strat. I don't know if you're talking about the indicator strat or if you're talking about automatic strategies. I was thinking about the indicator strat, but I think you're talking about automatic strategies. Hey man, Morgan, just take trades with the bias, man. Just go with the bias. Don't take no counter trades. Just go with the bias. Even though you're going to see some nice long trades there, we're definitely going down right now. You're going to see some nice long trades there, but we're definitely going down right now. Now you're correct me if I'm wrong. Are you what are you using for? Are you using TDU footprint or are you using something else? I think you said you were using something else for the footprint. Did you say you were using CD, or city?
CDSIDI, I think.
CD footprint. Is that what you're using, Morgan? So yeah, you will want to get your Valtos, definitely get that up and running. Yes, city footprint. And that's inside of Ninja Trader, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. That is inside of Ninja Trader. I think I did look at. There was another footprint I looked up, man, and I think this guy was over in Germany, and he had everything but the kitchen sink on his footprint, and it just got. I think if I went back to it now, I wouldn't have no problem using it. But he had so many things running on his footprint. It was at the time I looked at it, it was real complicated to me. But now that I know what I'm looking for, I think if I went back and looked at it again, I would totally understand what he's trying to do. And I don't remember the name of it. I don't think it was CD, but this guy, I think this guy is over in the UK. And he had a very big, complicated footprint. So I'm taking it you can't program nothing inside of CD like TDU, like you can with TDU. It might be what I was looking at. And he has so many statistics running at the bottom of his footprint also. It was like this guy with PJS profiles. You say, Abraham, you say you get level delta. What do you mean when you say level delta?
You took the words out of my mouth. I was thinking that you could actually tell what tier what delta is on, or actually isolate what delta.
I get it.
Delta level.
Yes.
That's something we were asking about earlier this year about
For
how
TD,
could we
if
identify.
TDU could do it, right.
Right.
Oh, level 2 data. Okay. You got to have level 2 data to get that. Okay.
Still stuck again. Thought we found the answer.
Yeah, I probably would be interested in that if I had level 2 data, if that's what you're talking about. Are we slowing down here? What time is it, man? The market's moving like it's 11 o'clock, 11:30.
Well, just like the birds know when to fly south, you know when it's 11 o'clock. Yeah, 87, 94. We're losing a few sellers, not a whole lot.
Min-max flashing with the delta.
With a ratio.
My fault. With a ratio.
I just thought you had an extra piece that I didn't.
You know, I loaded FootPrint up on the NASDAQ, Abraham, and I just didn't feel like making adjustments to those delta numbers and the cum numbers and all that other stuff, man. My brain was smoking. The numbers were just a total difference from looking at the E-mini. That's another reason why I'm kind of like taking it slow on messing with the bonds right now. You just have to make adjustments in your mind when it comes to the deltas, the cum deltas, the mins, the maxes, and all that stuff. The numbers are totally different. That's exactly what I did, Abraham. I learned order flow from Valtos, and then I switched to TDU. Yes, that's the positive side of going with Valtos. Valtos, you will learn what you want to look at. So when you go to TDU, you're automatically going to know what you're looking for. That's how me and Magic got. That's how me and Magic learned. We both got Valto's software, and then we made the switch to TDU because we automatically knew what we wanted to see.
That makes a big difference. Sometimes I feel Valto should turn into an educational society as opposed to a trader's flow.
Or you mean software?
Or software.
Yeah, let TDU handle the software and he handles the educational side. That's why a lot of people say, will he just sell the video? I don't see why he wouldn't. I don't see why he wouldn't be using the just sell the software and put out quite a bit of software.
Absolutely. I mean, so much value.
Educational wise, put out quite a bit of information educational wise and just sell that.
So much value in his information.
Oh man, his past 4 or 5 videos, he's dropping gems, if that's what you want to call it. He's dropping gems, and if you're into OrderFlow, you definitely need to watch his videos that especially the past 4 or 5 videos that he's put out. You're right, Morgan. He can't even answer an email. I just gave up on him. I just gave up on him.
Top steps on protest with that one. Yeah. Got to be a little bit more responsive.
Best OrderFlow is more visual. Yes, and TDU has risen or rose to the occasion. Risen, rising. I'm gonna say rising because they're still doing it. Every time you ask them for something, they go right to their next upgrade, and if he sees it viable, he puts it in the software. No questions asked. Very slow in his response. No, he does not respond at all. How about that?
Just chooses
you're in his podcast on a weekly, he will respond.
Yeah. Well, he may respond to those he didn't in the email as well, but not like you want to hear it. You know, that's what gets me. You know, a lot of things it seems like I don't want to say he blows it off, but he waits till he has that podcast to kind of respond to something that may have come up
Matter of fact,
more than once.
You guys are getting me worked up and mad, and I don't want to think about that right now.
Told you, top steps on protest.
Yeah, you guys are definitely getting me worked up about how he doesn't respond. And I told him that my version of at the time my version of his OrderFlow was not working. Anytime I loaded up Bloodhound, my system would crash. And I wasn't running Bloodhound. They just had to be in the same space, and my system would crash. And the reason why it's not crashing right now is because I sacrificed Bloodhound to run his OrderFlow. And I sent him several emails, and he never responded. Got a prominent POC here with a price action divergence on the Valto's chart. I think personally we're getting ready for a sell-off to the downside. It's gonna make new session lows anyway. Right now the session lows are 64 and a quarter, and it seems like we're in a range. It's just leveling off. Got a big seller, 51.72 and 3/4.
You know, based on
116. Were you ready to say, Magic?
I was going to say, based on the way this pattern is, you would kind of expect that maybe we could expand the range one more time on a pullback. And there's a possibility, but still we're going to have a lot of meat on the bone, whether you're looking to break that low or just to get a few ticks out of it. In a steady grind. Three 63, 63.
51.50, man. That's
Man,
about
now
20 points.
that makes sense. That makes a little more sense to me. Now I say, okay, well, why didn't he just go? Okay, now he's thinking.
Yeah, that's Friday's low.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Well, if you break one out, you may as well bust it and see if you can get a real nut down there. 51. As he said, ideally, I get it. I'm just teasing though, but yeah, that would be the buster.
Cum delta is gone on this moving average chart. It has broke and has not looked back. Cum delta is white. The moving average is below the moving average. It is gone. Went up there in that 5-minute gap zone, stabbed up in there, and then boom, off to the races. Definitely sideways right now. Definitely sideways right now. By the way, Morgan, what version or versions of not Valtos, what versions of NinjaTrader are you running? Did you install 28 and then graduate it up? Or are you just running one version? If you install version 28, tell me why you installed version 28 and then graduated up, because I see a lot of people doing it, which I was doing it also for a particular reason, but I want to hear your reason on why you did it. I basically want to see if it's the same reason why I did it and why Magic's doing it. Right. And that's the problem I was having. But also, and Apex told me to keep this one. Okay. Okay. I can understand that. One of the reasons why I did it was, with me trading several demo accounts just for practice only. I'm not trying to get funding or anything like that, but just for practice only. I couldn't figure out how to add those demo accounts to the new version. New version was, you couldn't sign into your Forex account, and I have a Forex account and blah, 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 and multiple sign-ins, and it was just thing. And then last night I discovered something, and I'm going to pull your coattail on this now. And here's why I think Valto's version didn't work. I think it didn't work because I don't think his version works with several versions of NinjaTrader, right? And I wanted to keep the version of NinjaTrader, the old version, with the new version because of the demo stuff that's going on. If I like, I'm gonna show you my demo accounts. If I let's bring this on down. We got slow action right here. If I'm looking at to do several demo accounts, this wasn't enabled in the new version, right? But check this out. When you go to tools and you go to options, it's not enabled, but there's something called multi-provider, right? This is just when you install the latest version, not installing it on top of 28. I think Valto's software had a problem with installing it on top of 28. So when for some reason last night I said, what is this multi-provider? So when I clicked it and reset the NinjaTrader, all of my demos popped up. All of my demos popped, and that was the only reason why I was just messing with version 28 and graduating up. So now I'm just running the latest version, which is 1.21, and I think they put one out the other day, which is version 830 or something.
1.3.
1.3, right? 8.30 or 813 or 8130. So
there it is.
So I don't know how you sound like you're pretty smart when it comes to resetting your NinjaTrader, and you got a lot of things going on and you know how to reset it. If I was you, I would only try this on the weekend. I'm gonna tell you this information on a not held basis. Reset your NinjaTrader and try loading up and actually I would try it on a weekday. I would reset my NinjaTrader, load up just the latest version, go back into the settings, options, hit that multi-provider, make sure your multi-provider is set, and then come back in and load up Valtos. It will probably kick in. It will probably work with no problem. I just think Valtos had a problem with running 2 or 3 different versions of the old NinjaTrader with the new NinjaTrader. You don't have that option in there? Yeah. But what version are you running though? You're running version 0.28 though, right? I don't think you're going, and I don't know about the Apex thing, but I don't think you're going to have a problem if you load up the most current version, go into options, check that version, then come back and see if all your software running. Everything for me is running smooth right now, very smooth. And you know the problems I had last week with just the lag. Look at my lag now, 0.019, 0.08, 0.03. I'm basically getting no lag now. So if I was you, I would reset that, just load up the latest version, and then go back, hit that check box, and then load up all your software. Load up everything. Get the max out of your computer, because I think you said you got 64 gig too. Get your money's worth, man. The NinjaTrader charges too much to be having to stay down below on a certain level because certain software won't work with it. Whereas Mike Valto's software costs too much where it should be working with any version you're running. We ain't gonna argue about that. Make sure when you load up that newest version and you kick in with that check mark, everything's probably gonna kick in. Everything's probably gonna work. And that's what it did for me. Everything kicked in. Except I still cannot run Bloodhound with Valto stuff. That's what pisses me off.
Now you just gave away the secret why I keep you around.
Yeah. Yeah, man, we're the software we paid for costs too much not to be able to run or be compatible with other software. But I'm pretty sure that Valto's problem, you won't have a problem. You won't have a problem with Valto's problem once you just run one version and get the latest version, which is, I think, 8.1.3.0. Get that, which I downloaded it this morning. I thought I was running it. I downloaded it this morning. I'm going to upgrade to that and see if I have any problems. But I haven't had any problems. I haven't had any problems at all. And then the thing is about the newest version is, if you're running NinjaTrader on your phone and say your internet goes out at home, you can just log onto your phone. You see all the positions on, and you can take care of your business on your phone while waiting for your internet to come back on. And at the same time, you do get notifications when you take a long, when you take a short, where your stop's at, where you enter that. All that stuff pops up on your phone if you're running NinjaTrader, if you have the phone app and you're running the latest version of NinjaTrader, not the latest, not the mixed version, but the latest version. Man, I'm itching for another trade. I'm up only $33 for the day, man. That trade pulled me out the hole like crazy, Magic. Well, I was only 8 ticks in the hole, but it was still a nice trade.
It's green.
It's green, yes. I'm running 6 screens over here. I think I need 2 more. I need more real estate, man. I'm getting greedy with the real estate, man. You got all 6 of yours running up, or one of your screens went down, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I am putting 2 acres of property into 1 acre.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I can use another 2 screens. Oh, remind me to tell you, Daryl called me yesterday.
The same guy that I told it would take him more than 3 months
Yeah.
to learn the trade.
he,
That Daryl?
yeah, he wants me to put together a system for him.
Don't send him back over here.
Yeah, he wants he's looking at he's in the market for a computer, so.
Good.
I think that volume add-on thing is stopping my my sounds from going off. I'm gonna have to uninstall it and see if I hear a change.
Okay.
Definitely slowing down here. Definitely slowing down here. QM Delta's standing around minus
Well,
7,500.
yeah. And that's 68. Losing. Morgan, did you take off any of that trade off from the 68s? I guess no matter how long you trade, that greed and that fear set in somewhere, sometime. All right, folks, I would certainly be remiss to say that I am recognizing the fact that we are back up on the top bands on a 12R. Would be a place, if you are interested in shorts, would be at least a location that, you could very well take a look at. Running out of gas from the downside, but I tell you, it's still that area that, if nothing else, your risk to reward tends to be a lot better. If you can get you expect to see some sort of rip coming out of this location. Of course, that is dependent on everything else you might use, everything else that you may give you signals. Nothing stands alone. I try to tend to stress that. Buyers definitely set in.
Got a sell POC with passive sellers here. POC wave threatening. Hasn't been
Got
etched in
stop
stone yet.
volume.
Has not been etched in stone yet. POC threatening. 76 and a half. Let's do this. 76 and a quarter. Got a prominent POC, potential POC, and now it's no good.
Do you wish to quit? Do you really want to quit now when you're so close to the ultimate end?
Order canceled.
It's my baby. Here's my baby.
Order canceled. Order canceled. We're going up.
I'm just saying, folks. I'm just saying. One of them areas, sideways or down. What you gonna do? Give me some hints.
This is your kind of action, Magic. I was looking for the V-turn on the POC wave. Didn't happen. This is your kind of action.
It's turning into it, because normally this is the kind of action you're going to get in these areas. Some sort of sideways. I'm not saying it won't go up. I'm just saying, because of this reactionary, it's this mathematics, standard deviation, you tend to get some sort of opposite reaction, some sort of rip, as they call it.
You got double top. You got 380. What's that? 182 versus 11 on the ask.
11, yes. A lot versus a little.
Yeah, but that delta, that's a dead bar. 308. I can't. I don't care for dead bars, man. I really don't, man. It's got to be a huge dead bar in order for me to react.
Normally up here, a lot of times I will look down at the differential, and if I can get a momentum wise, a dead bar momentum, where you get an up bar, but your momentum down and on the differential is starting to get smaller, that's giving you even more hints. It's a lot of things that just go on with this, but that's a lot of times what I'm looking for in this. Something that can't get back into the Bollingers, something that is like a retest, but at the same time it looks one way and indicators are telling you something opposite in divergence to it. You got stop in action. A lot going on as far as what's going on the top of these bars, footprint wise.
Yeah.
I'm a very visual person, so for me, footprint is helpful when I'm able to put enough things that matter to me, and they start coming in on the tops of bars. If nothing else, that's indicating some sort of pressure when it comes to the footprint.
Cum delta is lightened up though on that double top.
Certainly.
Yeah, we look at
Directional on the charts itself has actually, kind of flipped to the upside. But when I look at a higher time frame, I realize that there's still situations that have downward bias here.
Yeah, Morgan, you got yours set at 900. I got mine set at 1,000. I think Magic has his set at 950.
I'm dead in the center of both of you. Yeah, I was at 900, and that came up a little bit too often when it got to a volatile market.
Yep.
And for some reason, that extra 50
That's why I
right
went to
over that
1,000.
threshold.
Yep, that's exactly why I went to 1,000.
And even on a 15R, that's a little more expectant. I'm looking at 950 for a 12R, which seems to be my sweet spot. And a 15R should shun more delta on the bar. So you may want to raise it to see what you get just from an experimental point. You sound like you're pretty dialed into where you want to see things anyway. Just a little experiment on the side.
On this Valtos chart, you got price action with passive sellers, and with the big cross, that's price action divergence, and then you got passive sellers with prominent POC.
Little down acceleration in here.
Okay, sellers are back. They're back in the house.
To be quite honest, Morgan, I do look at a formation of that value average low high POC. I don't look at it on a basis of for the entire day or session. I tend to get a little closer with a couple of things I'm experimenting with at this point, but it tends to give me a more of a val or a va per se off of the last immediate run. And it seemed right now it looks like it may get me a little closer to some action on a particular place in time. I'm not sure as yet, but that's kind of the form I'm looking at it on. But yeah, it does interest me from run to run or from move to move, especially if we're pulling back, making new highs. A lot of times it puts you right on the number for the next pullback. So that's something I am kind of experimenting with. I got a little lab in here too. Mo ain't the only one with a lab, but I got to run mine a little more visual than numerically. So it takes me a little bit longer a lot of times, since I'm using the 19th century equipment and, he's using the 2035 equipment. But I get there. Somehow or another, we tend to get to the same points in time the exact same way. So it's kind of nice. I've enjoyed the journey either way.
Actually, we do look at the value average low, value average high, and POC. We have indicators for that, but I decided not to bring that into discussion right now. I have the chart of all charts for that, believe it or not.
See, that was a tease. That's all I can say.
I call that chart my price action chart. That is the only chart I refer to, especially when I'm looking at a 2000 tick. That indicator we have running on that, priceless. I guess that double pinch, double top would have paid off just a tad bit. Maybe. Nah,
It ain't over, man. It
nah.
ain't over, man.
Well, you
It
look
ain't
at, let's
over.
say worst
Yeah,
case
it ain't
scenario,
over
you
yet.
got in at 79 and a quarter. Yeah, yeah, you probably would have got 8 to 12 ticks out of that.
It ain't over yet, man. It ain't over. I keep saying to you, it's not over yet.
No, it is not over. Looks like it wants to add some more to the piggy bank.
If you start looking at that differential at the bottom, the green bars are now momentumly making lower highs. I'm glad I got that word right because usually I'll call it a higher low in a minute. But literally, the momentum for the buyers just on a visual isn't bringing any presence. So if I wanted to be long, which I would prefer to be, my pullbacks would include some sort of what I would call a live bar. Right now, I wouldn't necessarily bet against it, but I would have to at least see a live bar before I would be long. My position was as it was kind of in the first place. Nothing kind of changed my mind. We got to the band again. We got a rip. So if you were a scalper, you'd be very satisfied at this point. I would love to see the differential as well go to the negative side without the MACD doing that. If the MACD were to stay positive and my differential were to go negative, that would give me even more incentive, especially if we get footprint clues on top of that condition as well as location. Short 76 quarter. Morgan's active. Waiting for that 10 points. We're trying to get back down to the 58s again, or we're going to be satisfied with the first 5 points. Which is it?
And a lot of times when you're doing your research, it seems easier said than done. You know, when you're going back on your charts, oh, I would have shorted here, I would have got out here. Yeah, playing from the edge, playing from the right edge is a lot different. A whole lot different. When you're seeing it happening in action, it's a whole lot different. It's not the same as going back and say, I went long here and got out here.
Yes.
It's a whole lot different. Trust me.
But I think that's part of the reason we're here, kind of to offer, hey, take a look at this, see if this helps what you do. Because I personally will, I kind of go at this as if you were to coach a sport. You take the strengths and weaknesses and you try to improve on what you're doing that might be helpful, as opposed to, saying you got to do it like this. I just don't believe that there's one way to trade. I think everybody has their holy grail. Even when it loses, it's a holy grail because it's making money for you in the long run. That's what a holy grail really is. The right trades, the right money management, uh, even taking a lousy system with the right money management tends to make you a more successful trader. Got live bars yet? See what we get if we can get a lower high in here. This would make it a two-legged pullback on a pivot basis to the downside. Shallow, although it may be. What's the comparisons at the bottom on this? It's 35 on the bid versus 66 on the bid. 59, 52 losing sellers. Looks like I would be stopped out if I got greedy. Still haven't got into these bands at this point. I'm still not real anxious about necessarily taking a long unless I got in at the bottom where the pullback was, which I would not be eligible for because I never got into a negative position on the differential. So I'd probably be out of this unless I traded purely FootPrint. Inside days, inside days, inside days. Bottom tick.
Yes, we are on the inside day. You just reminded me of that too. It is moving like it. Even though the range is kind of big, it's settled down.
I guarantee you, if your approach is one way with an inside day, you have to make some sort of adjustment, or you tend to be a little profitable or a little down or more. Because the total property of this market, when you get into that condition, it'll turn on you when you feel like when you feel like there should be some sort of follow through. Just to kind of accent on this 1,000 to the upside, you certainly don't want to see a follow through bar to the downside once you get a delta of 1,000 on a 12R for that matter. And from what I can see on Morgan's, he's at 900, so that's pretty extensive delta. The reaction you want to see after 1,000 would literally be, give me an up bar at least, because you want to see at least the follow through on that kind of delta. You want to see more buyers be attracted on a number like that. I don't know, Morgan. I still haven't called my buying buddies yet, man. I still haven't given them a call. Not sure if we're early or not yet.
Back up to 168 on the Dow. NASDAQ ain't moving that much. Let me look on my leaders and laggers chart and see what's leading. I have a chart here, leaders and laggers. E-mini and NASDAQ about even, but the NASDAQ is leading the E-mini. Then you got the Dow way up there. Dow futures is way up there, so.
What's that correlation you're running?
Leaders and laggers.
Ah.
Dow futures is running up. E-mini is trailing behind.
I can't pick up the phone, Morgan. I just can't pick up the phone, I'll be honest with you. I got to hold my position because I'm on YouTube. I got to be either dead right or dead wrong on this one. Couple of things are bothering me about this rise. And one would have something to do with the bands as well, yes. But as much as we're crawling, this last bar came in at a falling delta. And if we were to get a flip on this, that's especially more than the plus 400 that we got on the last bar, it's going to be a very interesting situation. You've got an up bar that doesn't get into these bands, which I don't know why after 1,400, but this turn is very, very interesting, I will say, to me. Again, guys, anybody interested in shorts, not a bad place to stick your foot in the water here.
You guys
Just
are,
a foot.
don't forget, you guys are delayed too. So this is purely entertainment only, but you guys are delayed. If I'm not mistaken, this YouTube is delayed by I think from what I can see, this might be 30 seconds or more.
You got to be kidding me.
Nah, I'm serious. This is delayed by 30 seconds or more from what I'm seeing on the YouTube screen compared to what we're doing. Yeah, it's delayed.
Hmm.
I don't think it's delayed on Discord though. Yeah, but I think YouTube is delayed by about at least 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So be careful about what you say, man.
I will. Glad to have that type of information.
Yeah.
I still am not convinced that the buyers have taken it all over yet.
No, they haven't. They're struggling. They are struggling. Got a prominent POC with a POC wave threatening. It's only threatening. Not enough to make me jump though.
500 is usually a pretty good action number, as far as if you can get consistent numbers around that 500. 5 to 700 are usually pretty good action numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, Morgan, definitely a struggle. Definitely a struggle. Even though I wouldn't be looking to buy it here, only because the cum is on the negative side and starting to grow or decrease again. I always call this topping out action. Well, it's 12 noon. Action is slowing down. I think we're going to call it the day here. I think we're going to call it the day. I did want to pull one more trade. I'm fiending. I'm fiending. I'm fiending for one more trade here, guys. I don't see nothing popping. Action has definitely slowed down.
Still got a lot of buyers at the tops of these bars.
I want to see what this double top up here is going to do, though. But yeah, we're gonna call it the day after this double top, if it turns into a double top. Some strange reason, I think we're gonna run to the downside again.
Morgan, have a very good day.
Yeah, Morgan, don't forget to try that reload thing out. And if I were you, I would try it while the markets are open on a weekday. You do it on the weekend, then you got to wait till Monday, man, to see if it's going to work or not. So give it a try. Let me know how it works out. All right, guys, we're going to call it the day here. Appreciate your viewing. Come back again. Don't forget to hit the like button. Peace out.